Means we're live, a casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper, here to give a take off my chest. I've never been one to overreact to a summer league game or a moment from training camp, right? Like I remember last season when Wimby made his summer league debut, dude, it wasn't that good. It was like 9 points on horrible efficiency, and everyone's like, Wimby's an overrated prospect. Relax, just one summer league game. Or the beginning, like earlier, like in a couple months ago, it was like Caleb Williams had one of his first practices for the Bears, and reports were saying he was throwing all these interceptions, and people were like, Caleb Williams is going to be a must. Relax. It's one of his very first practices. These are just practices, summer league game, not meaningful games at all. But I can't be the only one who's seen these clips at a Chiefs training camp. Their receivers, that core looks legit now. They have real speed and real downfield threats, something that they didn't have last year. This offense is going to be lethal. And it made me think about this. If the Chiefs' biggest flaw from last season was their receiving core, the fact that their offense was the worst in the Mahomes Reed era because the receivers were just employees at the Butterfingers factory, Kelsey looked washed. They were more of a defensive team, but they were still able to win the Super Bowl. So who's to say that they aren't just going to win again? Because the receiving core has been completely remodeled. They get year 2 of Rashee Rice, who was good in last season, given that he doesn't get suspended. But Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, a vet and a rookie, that's real speed. That's real downfield receivers. You see the clips that they didn't have last season. So again, if they fix their biggest flaw from last season, which was the receiving core, and they still won, who's to say that they're not just going to win again? Now, if they win again, it is going to be 3 in a row, a three-peat. Now, if you're like me, who knows anything about Super Bowl history, I consider myself a little Super Bowl history nerd. I'm going to pull up the list for you guys to see who in the Super Bowl era has ever won 3 in a row. I'm struggling to find it. Oh, no, I got it. It's nothing. No one has ever done it. That's why I was struggling to figure it out. No one's ever done it. No matter how many great dynasties you've had in the Super Bowl era, Tom Brady and Patriots, they got more rings. They got room on their hands. And they couldn't win 3 in a row. They went to 3 in a row, but couldn't win 3 in a row. Aikman's Cowboys, 3 out of 4. What about the olden times where it was a little bit less teams in the playoffs? The teams that won back-to-back like the Packers or Steelers. On their quest for 3 in a row, they didn't get close on that third try. And when we think about the AFC, how tough it's going to be this year for the Chiefs, Burrow's back. Joe Burrow's the only active quarterback to ever beat this Chiefs team in the postseason. Like 7 of the 10 best quarterbacks in the league are on the AFC. It's a tough road. So history and conference competition says the Chiefs aren't going to win 3 in a row. So you're probably asking me, as someone who likes to side with history and competition, why do I think that the Chiefs are just going to win 3 in a row or have a really good chance of winning 3 in a row? And it's because I think they have the best coach and quarterback combination by far in the league. By far the best quarterback, by far the best coach, added together, by far the best quarterback coach duo in the league. So much so, I mean, I've been listening to everyone's top quarterback, top coach list throughout the offseason. That's what everyone does. I see lists where they don't even rank Mahomes or Andy Reid, like ranking MJ in the 90s. They're so unanimous, number one quarterback, number one coach, they don't even rank them. And it's the same advantage that Brady and Belichick had in New England. Didn't matter if they lost a receiver like a Tyreek Hill or Randy Moss. The receiving core gets shuffled around. Didn't matter what the personnel was like, who was in the conference, Manning or a Burrow, or if they get home field or not. As long as that coach-quarterback duo is there, they're always going to be in a running for that Super Bowl, even if it's something like 3 in a row. And if you've been listening to this pod for a while, since the beginning of last season, I've been calling this Chiefs dynasty exactly like the Patriots. And I think they're in the stage of the Patriots dynasty where you kind of just have to keep penciling them in to at least, represent the AFC or get to the AFC championship game by very bare minimum. Because if you don't, and they actually do, you're going to feel very stupid because you're going to be like, oh, did I really just bet against the quarterback coach duo of Brady and Belichick? Or did I really just bet against the quarterback coach duo of Reid and Mahomes? Because every time we doubt them, they still win, no matter what the personnel is. I mean, the Patriots went to 8 straight from 2011 to 2019 AFC championship games, 8 straight. They won 5 of those games and eventually 3 Super Bowls. The Chiefs are on 6 straight AFC championships games, 4 wins, and eventually 3 Super Bowls. Who's to say they can't make that 7-8? Who's to say that they can't go to 3 Super Bowls in a row and possibly in really good chance of winning that 3rd Super Bowl in a row? Because if their only problem from last season or the last 2 seasons since they lost Tyreek Hill was the fact that their wide receiver core was a bunch of employees from the Butterfingers factory, like top 5, leading the league in drops, was ruining the flow of the offense. They weren't dependable at all. If they were still able to beat 2 super teams in the last 2 Super Bowls, and now that their wide receiving core has got a home makeover and they have real speed, real down the field push to finally get back to scoring 30 points a game, who's to say that this Chiefs team can't just win again? I think until further notice, I am going to pencil this Chiefs team as long as they have Mahomes and Andy Reid, and now with this remodeled receiving core into the Super Bowl for next season and years to come until further notice. But I appreciate everyone for tuning in this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social media, stay updated on all things related to the show. Some Casual Takes is the handle. Until next time, see ya.